Hey, it's Rick Miller and
Xing the Gap.
In Xing the Gap, I'm not the performer, but the host of an intergenerational conversation between a baby boomer and a millennial. Sometimes we break the rules and go younger or older, but the goal's always the same, to discover how differently we see things, but that together we can build bridges of understanding, find a shared humanity, and save the world from itself. Boom! Today I'm chatting with my friend and colleague Ravi Jain and his mom Asha, who are the stars of the international hit theatre production Brimful of Asha. Ravi's one of Canada's coolest theatre creators, and the company he founded, Why Not Theatre, is a trailblazer for cultural diversity and giving access to a younger generation of artists. The mother-son pair, with an assist from dad Ramesh and baby Rohan, shares stories about arranged marriage, agreeing to disagree, immigrant communities, raising kids in immigrant communities, hipsters, gentrification, intergenerational cohabitation, overt and covert racism, and getting a blank check from the Rolling Stones. Welcome to
Xing the Gap.
Asha, Ravi, thank you so much for being part of Xing the Gap. Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Could you tell us a little bit about yourself? Whoever wants to go first can go first.
Do you want to go first?
So what I should tell about me?
Who are you?
I'm Ravi's mom. I'm an immigrant. I moved to Canada from India at age 21. And it's a great difference between two cultures. But I adjusted to a lot of changes, and it's a lot of are very good to adopt.
And you became an actor
And
over time.
It was accidental.
An accidental actor. I love it.
Actor, yeah. Because Ravi challenged me that he wanted to make fun about the arranged marriage, which I believe in strongly. And then we end up into argument, and I end up winning the whole argument.
Yeah.
So you won in the end. Okay, maybe we'll get to that later. Now, by the way, Ravi, can you introduce us to the third generation in the frame?
This is Rohan. He's eating very badly right now because of the screen, but we'll get him done.
You are the epitome of bridging the gap, Ravi. You're in between two generations here, right on your own.
Yeah.
So Ravi, maybe tell me a little bit about yourself while you feed your baby.
So I'm an actor and director. I have a theater company called Why Not Theatre. My mom and we made a show, as she said, and just making theater.
And I should add, Why Not is one of the most extraordinary companies for somebody who's been doing it for a while, like me. One of the companies that inspires me the most in Canada. So I'm delighted to have you here, Ravi, so that the world can get to know you a little bit more. The people who don't already know you, right?
Thank you so much.
Okay, so I figure we'll get right at this. I want you to tell me about the Brimful of Asha is the name of the play. It's also the name of a song, but you wrote a play and you say that, Asha, you won the argument. Maybe set us up a little bit about what this play is and what its journey was to become a play.
So we made it in 2012, but it's based on a true story. In 2007, my parents tried to arrange my marriage in India, and it didn't go so well. And so my mom and I are on stage, and we tell the story from our perspectives of what happened and why. And it feels like it's improvised, but it's actually scripted. It was created through improvisation, but we make you feel like it's happening right in front of you.
Right. And you serve samosas, right?
Yes.
Now, those are your homemade samosas, Asha?
No, sorry. I cannot make so much samosas every night.
So how did you feel the first night in front of an audience, Asha? I imagine you have not done this before. And describe some of your feelings around that.
I don't know. It was meant to happen. And I'm a very shy person. I've never been to a stage before. First time when I went, Ravi was more nervous than me.
I thought she was going to tank hard.
He thought I wouldn't be able to manage. First time only, the crowd connected to me. And when I told them a little bit about our story, they wanted to know more and more. And the more we told, they liked it more. A lot of people in the end, they said there is not such a bad idea, because what you're trying to do is best for the kids and best for everybody.
I was surprised at how many people were like, I see your mom's point of view. Like they really understood. And a couple of people, a number of people, we've done it for like 9 years actually. And wherever we went, there'd always be an audience member who'd say, I wish I had done that. I wish I had arranged marriage, or, that she does win and to a certain degree.
Yeah, there's a great quote. I think it's in your promotional material about you can't choose your family, so why should you choose your partner, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And from someone who comes at it I have a certain association with the term arranged marriage. Culturally and generationally, it just seems wrong. And I remember sitting in the audience, just generally warming up to the fact that we're all human beings. We all want what's good in our family. We want there to be happiness and prosperity and success and peace and calm. And I was won over by you, although I won't arrange marriages for my kids. I was won over by the simple fact of humanism, which is that we start to listen to each other, maybe understand each other a little bit better. So I was thoroughly won over by your point of view, Asha, which I came in expecting to be on Ravi's side 100%.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And, it's over that period. Arranged marriages changed a lot too. Like when my parents got married, they didn't even see each other. The family went, saw the girl, they liked it, and my mom. And they were arranged and the marriage was done. In my time, second generation, I was able to meet my husband, have conversation with him, and I had a choice to say no. But there was nothing to say no about. So I went along and,
So there,
yes.
Okay. So there was a bit of yes, but if there had been many things to say no about, would you have said no?
Yes. Because my reason was to get married to him was I wanted to come abroad. And 45 years ago, the girls did not have that liberation to come alone. Nowadays, a lot of girls are coming for studies here, and they're 19, 20 years of age, and they are getting that liberation.
So he was your ticket out of town.
Yeah. So if they come here, afterwards they can find their own partner,
Yeah.
But it is strange enough. People are finding their own partners. They go for certain time, sometimes 5 years, 7 years. And then they decide to get married. And once they're married, they are divorced in a couple of years. Mm-hmm. Where arranged marriage is you don't know each other, but it's done by the families, and family makes sure that the other family is solid. They see the values and things like sometimes it fails, but not too many times.
And sometimes it should fail, but then it's they're stuck together. But that's a whole other can of worms.
No, but the reason is why it stick together, because you don't know each other. So many years it takes to know each other, and then you have families, young kids. You get so involved in it, and by the time you are a little bit at that stage that you're fighting and arguing, you get used to each other, and then then you don't want to separate, or for kids' sake, for other thing.
I would say, look, going back to the show, what I think is good about listening is we can agree to disagree and still respect each other.
Yeah.
And I think that's something about it that, we don't fully agree. There's some things I understand and agree with, but other things, at the very least, we can understand each other.
Agree to disagree is what Ravi and Asha did on stage, which is way more productive than shutting each other down or canceling each other out. Marriage is a tough topic, an old institution that's evolving slowly but surely from something rigid and monolithic to something more modern and flexible. And arranged marriage, well, that might seem medieval to some of us because it's at odds with the romanticized individualism at the heart of Western culture. We think, I will find my one true love and we will be perfect together forever. Well, no. If you set someone up to be the superhero, partner, parent, friend, lover, companion, and confidant, that person is bound to fail. So maybe accepting imperfection and failure is a better way to go.
I think there will be no fun without the failure.
Yeah, there it is. That's
no fun without failure. That's a bumper sticker or a sign and a protest.
Yeah. You have to have failures in life, and they are a lesson for you. It's not.
She's pearls of wisdom. I tell you, like I couldn't have said it better.
And now you have a grandchild who I'm assuming that things are going to be different for Rohan. Right? Yeah. You're not going to
arrange his marriage.
That's good. It should come back. Each generation should boomerang back.
A bunch of friends who have daughters. We've already started the combo. So we're set.
I want you to hear something you said a few years ago.
You know, the thing I've been thinking about if I have kids, I really want them to have an Indian community. Really close relationships with Indian folks who maybe that she'll do the dancing or he'll do the whatever performing. And I want them to be sure they're surrounded by that community because it's so important to have people who get you.
Yeah, man, that's great to hear. Send me that clip. I want to play for my wife.
I will. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, it's still true. It's still very true. I mean, at home, we don't eat the kind of food that I grew up with. And that is like a big thing I want him to have is coming to my mom's and being able to eat that food and being that culture. Like what we have right now. So obviously we're in COVID, so we haven't been able to like hang out with tons of people. But we come to my parents and I have a cousin who just had a baby. It's her second, but is a month apart from Rohan. So we get that feeling of family with family. Mm-hmm. But when I was growing up, like we had a temple that we go to where there were tons of kids and like that was the culture. We were always surrounded by the hybrid India, Canada culture. And I don't have that community as much anymore in my life. So I don't have a place necessarily to go where he can experience that because I don't go to the temple and I don't have that community center, let's say. But I think hearing it, I was like, oh, wow, like that's still very important. And right now the place to find that is with family, but I'm craving for a larger community of people like that for sure.
Yeah. And was that important to you, Asha, when you said you were an immigrant and you surrounded yourself with community? Ravi said he grew up with a lot of people, a great big Southeast Asian or Indian community.
Yes, certainly. All immigrants, they stick together with their own culture people. There was a great difference between Canadian culture and Indian culture because wherever we went, we took kids with us. When Canadian parties we were invited, kids were not allowed. Like Christmas party, we went to, kids were not allowed there. So we have to find a babysitter, leave them there, and go have fun. Where our fun is, our culture fun is, once kid is born, he's carried with you everywhere. Does not matter, you are going to a wedding, you are going to a Christmas party, or you are going to a birthday party, adult birthday party, or kids party.
Raised by the community, right?
Yeah. So that's why, we never separated the kids.
Yeah.
So, but
growing up too, there was just every weekend was a party because like the food, the stories, the people, it was all you had. Like you just couldn't go to a restaurant back then in the same way.
Yeah.
Because first of all, we were very restricted people, very strong vegetarian. So we didn't know what to go out and eat. Only places we could go is our Indian restaurants. And you cannot go there every week or something. So, and we did not have too much money. So we stick together. We try to create that food, special food at home.
That
and
you can only get
change the recipes, and try to make all those food at home, what we used to go out and buy in India. So that time it was not available here. Now it's ton of restaurants and ton of sweet shop. But that time, 45 years ago, not too many. And if we had in whole Toronto's one, it was far to travel to get it,
I live right near Gerrard and Coxwell. So I live very close to amazing Indian restaurants, right? There's a community 5 minutes away from here.
But when you go there now, it's sad. It's not what it was when I was growing up. It's changed a lot. Even just the other day, I drove by and I saw like hipster restaurants there.
Oh yeah.
And like, a ballet school has moved in, and it's like, it's just not the same.
Indian restaurants are moved from there. It's mostly,
there's a couple like
Sri Lanka and other,
okay.
It's changed because a big Indian market is Brampton now.
You go to the other suburbs.
Brampton and this Albion and Islington and few places like that.
Okay, what's a hipster? A hipster is someone whose music and fashion choices usually fall outside the mainstream. It goes back to jazz in the 1940s. Hepcats then led to beatniks in the 1950s, to hippies in the 60s and 70s. Then in the 1990s, when globalization flattened the world, hipsters came to be associated with young, educated, affluent bohemians living in gentrified neighborhoods, displacing ethnic communities and lower-income residents. On the one hand, it's the latest form of colonialism. On the other, it's progressive-minded people adding youth, value, and vitality to the changing urban fabric. I don't know. But what I do know is that when a Starbucks moves into the hood, millennials, today's hipsters, usually follow. Do you identify as a millennial?
I think I'm on the cusp. I feel like there's, I don't always understand the younger millennial generation, like the folks who are 10 years younger to me, let's say. I think there's just, I didn't necessarily grow up in a world that was only iPhone. Mm-hmm. And so I just have a more old school approach to some things, I guess, that are just different. So I don't know. Maybe I'll say I flinch when you call me a millennial.
That's okay. And Asha, do you flinch if I call you a baby boomer? Are you a baby boomer?
Baby boomer means?
Like it was a time in like a generation of people. They're called the baby boomers.
You know what? I grew up in India. So when I came to Canada, I was 21 years old. So it was different things for me. What I hold in our culture in India, it was very different. Like you're right. Father was the earning figure and mother was the housekeeper. And being a big family, we were 7 brothers, sisters. We helped our mother in the housework and we paid attention to her education. That was coming more important in kids' life, girls and boys. They wanted to educate them. And I don't know how I got the made up dream that I want to come to foreign country and want to settle in foreign. It could be Canada, America, anywhere.
Do you wish that you hadn't?
No, I love it. It's good. I love it because one time I felt it was like here it's lonely because the kids don't live with parents. At 18 or 19 when they go to university, once they left for university, they never come back. So in the end, you are very lonely. But it's happening in India too now. So It's not that bad.
It's like the same.
It's the same.
Yeah, but that tradition, it seems to be changing now around the world that we're embracing this idea, and maybe it has to do with the fact that hospitals and care centers are overcrowded, that living intergenerationally is actually not a bad thing, that's the best way to care for your parents. I feel it's coming back, at least in certain circles where people are embracing that idea more. They don't want to have their parents go through a pandemic in a long-term care center, for example, because that's a nightmare.
Yeah. But that is a great idea, because it's good for
everybody.
Both
like
the generation. If Ravi lives with us, it will be good for Rohan. Like he have in-house babysitting.
Well,
and he have more values.
My mom tried to convince me to not hire a babysitter. She was like, it's too expensive. I'll babysit for you. And the first time we came to her house with Rohan, he was on the floor and she was passed out on this couch that we're sitting on. And I was like, what the hell are you talking about? She's like, yeah, you made the right choice.
It's hard. Babies are hard.
No.
Are you going to spoil Rohan?
No, I'm very clear in my mind. There is, certain place we spoil him, but when it comes to discipline, that is no.
All right. So Rohan, pay note if you can hear this. Don't cross the line, man.
Yeah.
Ravi, do you think you're just new parents right now, you and Serena, but that's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's the sound of technology. Actually, I'll ask you, Asha, while Ravi is doing that. There's a story where your husband met the Rolling Stones, or at least there's a Rolling Stones story in there somewhere that Ravi once told me. And I wonder if that's more Ravi's story or your story to tell. I love this one.
Do you remember this? Remember Mick Jagger? They destroyed. Papa was working at the Westin.
Yes. My husband was in a hotel.
He was like an engineer in a hotel.
So that somebody got drunk, this Rolling Stone person, and trashed the room.
You want to know? I can ask my Papa, what's the story about you and the Rolling Stones?
Bring him on. Bring him on camera.
What's the story?
The story is that I used to work for Sheraton Hotels.
Come on the camera. Come sit next to us.
I used to work for Sheraton Hotels.
Sit.
And hi, my name is Ramesh Jain.
Thank you for joining us. Yes.
I used to work for Sheraton Hotels, and I was told since it was a VIP floor, so as a department head, I was supposed to go and investigate. There's an air conditioning problem. When I reached there was a man. I did not know what Rolling Stone was. So there was a man with his head inside the air conditioner in his suite. So I looked at him, and there was a carpet burned on the floor. I said, hey, guys, you burned the carpet. You'll have to pay for it. I took an estimate, and the manager came and said, listen, who are you? I said, I'm the engineering department. He says, tell your manager there's a check. There's no publicity we want. Whatever the cost, just fill it out.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's a blank check from the Rolling Stones.
Yes. I get to general manager downstairs. I said, we'll send you the estimate and you take care of it.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing that story from the horse's mouth. And I would not call you a horse, but that was I love that story. Thank you. Some of our clearest memories revolve around music. Whether it was my mom screaming to the Beatles at Maple Leaf Gardens or Ramesh Jain finding a Rolling Stones head in the air conditioner, stories become more memorable when you're dealing with sex, drugs, and rock and roll. I remember my first high school dance when I was introduced to cigarettes and U2. I smoked for 3 days. I've listened to U2 for 3 decades. Or the story of when I jumped out of a plane at age 18. I remember singing American Pie as the parachute slowly guided me down. I got through 3 verses before I landed and busted my leg. The point is, music imprints itself more deeply into our brains than language. And families that sing together stay together. I want to ask you, if there was a song that you were to sing together in karaoke, if you had the opportunity, is there one song you could agree on that you could both sing?
I know.
I'm not a singer, so
it doesn't matter. Karaoke is for all of us.
I know the one song that you would have fun singing.
Which one?
Growing up, my mom would always drive me everywhere. And the one song you love was Travel the World.
Travel the World and Seven Sea.
Everybody's looking for something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sweet Dreams are made by the Eurythmics.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. That's great.
Because, I had difficulty understanding English. So there were very few songs I could understand. So this was the one, I loved it. And the other one, Madonna's I'm a Material Girl.
That should be your song.
Oh, I love that. Material girl. So, I mean, that's speaking right to me. I'm Gen X. That's playing right into my sweet spot. Last time I spoke to Ravi in depth, this was pre George Floyd, pre pandemic, pre a lot of the things, a lot of the discussions around race in society. And I'm wondering, has anything changed in your family discussions? Did you talk about what was happening over the last couple of years a lot, or as much as you usually do, or not at all?
You know, when it happens, we will talk about it, because I'm a very religious person, and I believe in all the people. They are same. Does not matter color and country what they belong to. Everybody have same right and same values to live on this earth. We are nobody to decide who should be not living or who should be killed. You know, this is not right and this is not good. So when it happens, it bothers me, it hurts me. But there are a lot of weird people.
Racism?
Oh yes, when we came in, people used to call us Paki, go home. Though we are from India, but they call Paki to everybody. And we had a business. One time somebody put fire to our trailer, and they used to leave nasty messages on our answering machine. Pakis, you go home. But those were the unions, because we were non-union contractors, and those people were union. But we saw some racism on the street. Paki, go home. And one time I remember I was traveling in the bus. Somebody put small gum balls in my hair, chew. So sticky. But, I never put a fight. I ignore it and let it go. I never stand there and fought them back. That if they think they're supreme or super, but we are same.
Ravi, how about you? What's your experience of that?
I mean, I remember growing up seeing a little bit of overt racism, but it was always covert stuff. Like I rarely experienced overt, except when I lived in France. Then I experienced like overt, straight up. And then Greece also. The rest was always covert, sly, dirty stuff. But we don't talk a lot about it unless I think if it happens to someone, then we talk about it. But we haven't had big conversations, no.
Direct. Because that when this Floyd died, I have a granddaughter. She was 5 years old, and she says, "Black people have," what you saying?
Black Lives Matter.
No, yeah, Black Lives Matters. And I told my son, I said, Anu, make her not say anything because somebody will beat her up. She's only 5 years old.
Wow.
I think you say that because that was the threat you guys experienced. Like, I feel for us, it's a different time. Like you can say those things now and have more support when you do.
Yeah.
Like you guys were all alone. Now that's what's so big about that there is a generation that can stand up for itself.
Your company has a huge mentoring component to what you do, and you're always working with younger artists, very diverse artists. That's part of your mandate, and I guess your view of the world, because the company came from you. Are you learning a lot from younger people, or are there times when you're thinking, whoa, going too far, man?
I think both. I think both are true. Learning and feeling is too far because, I'm going to get pulled out of my comfort zone. But I think, for me, the big thing about mentorship too in the arts is about creating access. Like I had to work so hard to create opportunities for myself. And so now that I'm at a certain place, how can I make more opportunities for other people? And so those relationships, that is how so much of this business works, is just who you know and how you know them.
Yeah.
And so how can we just make more connections and more doors open so more people can get to know each other?
Well, I've gotten to know you a little better after this conversation, but now I get to take that knowledge to the next level. This is a game show called The Generation Gap. I think I'll start with Ravi first. Who shot JR?
Oh, man, it was a woman. I don't know who, though.
His sister-in-law, I think.
You're right. Sister-in-law and mistress. Her name was Kristen Shepherd. But okay, good. All right. Asha, I'll give you a point there. Ravi, who was the Canadian Prime Minister during World War II?
Oh, no way.
Okay. Last name King.
What'd you say?
Last name King.
William Lyon Mackenzie King?
Yeah. Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Who was the British Prime Minister during World War II? A little easier.
Oh, Churchill.
Yeah. Okay. Who was the Prime Minister of India during World War II?
That would have been Nehru.
No,
It's a trick question, Asha.
it's British, under British rule.
Oh, World War II, so
Yeah.
they're not divided. Oh, damn.
Yeah, Asha. Yeah, you got the point there.
So
Okay.
still Churchill.
Yeah.
Yeah, still church. Well, exactly. So, okay. Ravi, name a famous chef from the 20th century. Like a cookbook or something.
Oh, Julia Childs.
Julia Childs. Okay, that's good. Name a member of the Rat Pack.
Oh, Sammy Davis Jr.
Okay, good. One-eyed, one-horned flying. Finish the sentence. Famous song.
No idea.
She was a one-eyed, one-horned flying purple people eater. Didn't know that.
People eater.
Okay,
No.
same idea. She wore a nitsy bitsy teeny weeny
No idea.
Purple polka dot bikini.
yellow polka dot bikini. Ravi got it pretty much good. Famous TV couple that inspired the Flintstones.
Oh, Bang Zoom Alice to the moon.
Yep.
What are the Alice and Norton?
No, that's
Cramden.
Ralph, you're dancing around it. Ralph Cramden. That's right. Norton was the neighbor. That's right. And you probably know it too, like me, from Eddie Murphy, where he took it to terrible directions. Name a member of Led Zeppelin.
Oh, Robert Plant.
Okay, yeah, you know this stuff. All right. I'm going to switch over to you, Asha, okay? Because Ravi did so well. Some of these might not work for you, but we'll see. I'm going to ask you to name a boy band from any decade. Do you know what a boy band is?
You'll know them when you hear it.
Okay, Ravi, name a couple.
Backstreet Boys,
Oh, yeah.
NSYNC.
Okay, good.
Because I'm not in music or anything, so I won't know anything about it.
Asha, who's Ravi's favorite musician? Or one of them?
Oh yeah, come on, you know the one. What did I say?
Amitabh Bachchan?
Yeah, sure. No, now. What did I say when I was a kid?
Oh, Billie Jean. Michael Jackson.
Okay, good. Asha, name any hip hop artist ever. Or rap artist.
Oh,
I don't think
there
you
are a
could.
few, but I don't remember.
Okay. All right, Ravi, name a couple and we'll just give you a point here.
MC Hammer. That's a terrible one.
That's the
Dr.
worst.
Dre. I was trying to think of people that she knew.
Vanilla Ice, your next one.
Yeah,
Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre. Okay.
Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg, yes, I have.
Okay.
Jay-Z.
Okay. Asha, name a Disney princess. Or a movie with a Disney princess.
Oh, that is Cinderella.
Okay, great. Excellent. Name a character from the TV show Seinfeld.
Oh,
Oh, that Kramer.
Yeah, there you go. Boy, bonus points if you know his first name. I don't even know if Ravi knows. Cosmo Cremo. Here are a couple of texting abbreviations. So when Rohan's going to send you texts in a few years, you have to know what this means, okay? LOL.
Love you.
no, laugh out loud.
Okay, what about IDK? IDK. I'll give you a hint.
I don't know.
There you go. Ding, ding. Okay. And finally, IDC. Same idea, but there's my.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you're so good. I'm giving you very good sort of mime hints because Ravi studied, with all sorts of physical theater in Paris. So you have been incredible sports. Thank you for this. And before we leave, I'm going to just play a little clip. And if you feel like singing along.
Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to disagree?
My immense gratitude to you both.
Thank you
for having us.
I hope you had fun.
Oh, yes.
And now back to the business of being a family and parenting. So off to you. Thanks again. Thanks to you for listening to the podcast or watching the video. Both were conceived, written, and recorded by me, Rick Miller, with multimedia from my team at Cadoons. This series is created in partnership with Leap, an online community where life experience meets innovation. For more info, visit cabby.com/leap. And as always, thanks to my guests, Asha and Ravi Jain. Let me know what you think. You can find me at Rick Miller Actor on Twitter or Instagram or at rickmiller.ca. For more information about the Boom Trilogy, check out boomtheshow.com or cadoons.com. And remember, in a polarized world, you have a choice. Build a wall or build a bridge. Build bridges, not walls.
Xing the gap.